Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Pete Wright, and I'm sitting here with Megan Strand. Hi, Megan. And Dane Christensen. Hi, Dane.
Hi. Not sitting here necessarily, but...
No, because I know at least two of us are standing.
That's right.
I'm on week 2 of my standing desk extravaganza.
Pete and his innovative ideas about living.
I love it. I'm standing like a madman. Yesterday, I had to go to a client site and sit all day and podcast, and it was a terrible day. I was itching to get out of that chair. Itching, I tell you. I'm loving it. We are the Naked Marketers, and we have awesome things to talk about, including standing desks. But now we can check that off because we already talked about it. So let's move on. What else do we have to say? Can we talk about buy winning?
Yeah, no, I was going to say, speaking of men who are so full of tiger blood that they can't sit, they have to stand at their office because they've just got their winners. Yeah, Charlie Sheen,
because they're smoking crack.
And let me just say,
they have the blood of Adonis.
We're not including Charlie Sheen in the show just to improve our search engine optimization results or drive more traffic to our website with Charlie Sheen tags.
That's just a perk.
That's just a perk. We're not. It's not strategic.
Never.
It's not strategic that we're including trending topics in our topics.
We have to talk about Dick Bar too. Did you hear about? Have you experienced the Dick Bar? Okay, we'll talk about Charlie Sheen, but we got to talk about the Dick Bar too.
Dude, don't tease me with your Dick Bar and then just move on. Come on.
No. Okay, go ahead. You talk about Charlie Sheen. And then
I thought this was a family show, people. What is going on today?
Clearly not a family show.
All right. Yeah. Okay, couple of things.
Go.
Go. Ready, and Charlie Sheen.
Go. I have one speed. Go.
Exactly. I have one speed. Sheen. It's all Sheen. So Charlie Sheen has a new podcast. What is it? Sheen's Corner? Is that what it's called?
It is Sheen's Corner. And what is it with not being able to spell? Really? Sheen's Corner, Korner. It doesn't make it. There's no kitty to match the corner. It's Sheen. He spells his name right. Can't he spell corner? Give me a break.
But let's give him credit for having enough brain cells.
His sponsored tweets.
Yes, 6 figures.
Oh, she's jumping us ahead. Anyway, yeah, his podcast, right?
Okay, podcast was a disaster. Did you watch it?
Sheen, no, I was told by TMZ that it was too depressing to watch, and I listen to TMZ when they give me advice.
Depressing.
Well,
speaking of depressing,
they're like, the second podcast is up. But no, so Megan, I know you hate Charlie Sheen, and you want to move us off this topic as quickly as possible, but let me just remind people that about a week ago, I think it was, or maybe 2, Charlie Sheen didn't have a Twitter account. He had 0 followers, none.
Okay, I just would like to clarify for the record that I could care less about Charlie Sheen. It has nothing to do with him. I hate how much attention is being given to this lunatic. That is what I am upset about.
Okay,
so
but
case in point about the Twitter account. So let's tell our listeners how many Twitter followers Charlie Sheen amassed overnight.
Well,
right.
It got to 1 million in 25 hours, right?
Right, world record, not that it matters, 1 million in 25 hours. He's up over 2 million now. And, because we live in a capitalistic society, there are a few companies, I'm assuming it wasn't Charlie's idea, but that came to him and said, and maybe it was Charlie's idea, what else does he have to do all day and think about? But, hey, you've got followers. And you're shameless. Let's take advantage. And so, he's sort of parlaying both the Twitter account and the podcast because there are just all of a sudden massive numbers that probably won't be there for too much longer.
2.47 today, Twitter followers. Unbelievable.
That's insane.
He's supposedly, apparently,
he is insane.
Making 6 figures off of his social media experiments. We're not making that kind of money, by the way, and we mentioned lots of products on this podcast.
No, I strive to earn $1.8 million per episode of The Naked Marketers, as he did for 2.5 Men.
Hey, if we got $20 for mentioning Starbucks. I mean, come on.
So get to the real news, Dane. The good news about.
Okay, so then we follow that up. We've cleansed the palate.
I love Charlie Sheen in Scary Movie 3.
Oh, yeah?
No,
that's great.
He was in it. Scary Movie 4, he played Tom Logan, uncredited.
let's say that you're still with us, that our talk of Charlie Sheen hasn't turned you off. So now let's help you out here, and let's help Megan out. There's a new app, plug-in, whatever, for both Firefox and Chrome by Free Art and Technology Lab that filters all mentions of Charlie Sheen. What'll happen is so it's browser-based, obviously, and you're looking at the news. If Charlie Sheen or if the word tiger's blood is tagged to tiger's blood, or winning, words like that, they show up with a nice little censor bar block, and actually photos of him are also blocked out if assuming that the picture was tagged with Charlie Sheen's name.
Yeah.
You won't be void of all Charlie Sheen on your browser experience. You can filter him out.
I love it.
I'm going to do that right now.
All right. So Dane, do you follow Charlie Sheen on Twitter?
No,
Dane's not on Twitter.
Oh, that's right. Megan, you, I assume, do not follow Charlie Sheen. I followed Charlie Sheen for 2 hours.
Dane has his own uses for Twitter. Okay.
We don't want to know about you.
And none of those uses involve judgment.
Yeah, Megan.
I followed him for an hour, or for about 2 hours, and then immediately realized, this is when you read his bio. Okay, his bio: born small, now huge, winning, bring it, unemployed winner.
Oh God!
Wow. I just don't even know how to put that into any sort of context. It's just.
I enjoy
sad.
Charlie Sheen news on occasion, but no, I'm not following him.
Yeah,
because I enjoy things like that. I can't come up with phrases like that. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he sounds
brilliant.
Like such a lunatic.
Because he is a lunatic. Since
I know. You know what?
Yeah.
Here's my idea, and I don't want anyone to steal this one unless you're gonna give me credit or let me be part of the production. But I want to do a Survivor season. What are we, 25? Where it's just Charlie Sheen and Gary Busey.
Oh, Gary Busey.
He's the only other guy I can think of that really has that manic, you're forming phrases as though they're supposed to make sense, but you're not with us.
No, he's not on this plane.
Anyway, there we go. Charlie Sheen news.
Oh, man. Okay, I love it. Okay, can we just talk about the Dick Bar real quick?
Oh, I forgot.
So this was just
bring it back
big.
Up.
What? Do you have something else?
I said you're bringing back up the Dick Bar.
I'm bringing up the Dick Bar. Okay, so I find this fascinating. All right, so Twitter, about this Twitter thing. It's crazy, the Twitter with the kids and the Twitter. They are doing the tweets all over the place. Well, Twitter, the company, right? They bought Tweety and renamed it, which was the iPhone app, and they hired the developer over, and they renamed it the Twitter app for iPhone and iPad and now Mac, and you can download these for your devices and do the Twitter thing on your mobile device. Well, Twitter has been struggling a bit, I think, to figure out how to monetize the mobile experience and get these promoted trends, which we have apparently talked about. And get these, when the advertisers and sponsors pay for these tweets and trends, they want to get them in your face and they have a way to get them in your face on the web experience, but most people are using Twitter day to day on the mobile device. And so they did this just a dot release iterative update of their Twitter client for the iPhone first. It was the first platform they tackled with this, and they launched what's called the Promoted Tweets bar. It's a trends bar, trending topics bar. So there you are using Twitter, and as you're using it, this little bar drops down. It's not little, actually. It's really quite obtrusive. It drops down from the top of the screen, translucent, over the top of your tweets, and just it keeps folding down as the trends change over and over and over. It is quite annoying. It really is obnoxious, and you can't help but feel like you're being kicked in the face when it happens with these promoted trends, and they mix in promoted trends and regular trends. They're trying to soften the blow a little bit, I think, of making it look too overtly monetized. Well, John Gruber of DaringFireball.com came up with or during Fireball.net, I think, came up with or coined the term Dick Bar. And because it's not it's not the doc bar or the trending bar, it calls it the Dick Bar, and it took off like crazy. People switching platforms, they jump off of the Twitter app, even though it was largely the best app out there or arguably the best and sort of simplest app out there for integrating with Twitter, and it just absolutely backfired. You guys, obviously, you and Dane, I'm sure you don't use the Twitter app.
I do. I'm trying to let you guys know I've got my own uses for the Twitter.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
You say
it's
that.
Starting to
That's
scare me.
Disingenuous at best, I think. And
Megan, I use it as a news source.
Oh,
you're what we called a lurker.
I'm a lurker.
You're a lurker in the IRC days. Megan, what do you use for your iPhone?
I actually use Twitterific.
I have switched to Twitterific on everything. I've switched to it. The Dick Bar was too much for me.
I didn't see the Dick Bar, and I'm probably okay with that.
You got it. But
I like Twitterific. I've been on it for probably 3 months now, and I like it better than anything. I love Hootsuite on the desktop, but I do not like it on the iPhone. Sorry, Hootsuite, love you, but not on the iPhone.
Well, here's what happened though. This is what's so interesting. Twitter. I thought this was great. They actually started. First of all, to show they have a good spirit about when they totally screw up their platform, they actually built a Dick Bar in their office, a real life physical Dick Bar, and it's where you go to drink. At the end, it's this like coconut themed kind of wet bar where they have alcohol, and right across the top they called it the Pound Dick Bar. And that's where they have their afternoon cocktails. And then they immediately released a new update so that the Dick Bar doesn't animate anymore. So it just sits there on top, over your tweets, so you can see trends, but you can't get rid of it. So the question is, last week Megan and I talked a lot about the when you get to complain about the free service, right? Twitter is a free service. You don't have an option to pay for it. There are some, platform providers, like you can go pro on Twitterific and pay to get rid of ads there. But Twitter, the service, you can't pay for. And here they have this free app that was very good, and people go crazy bitching about Twitter trying to monetize the experience, myself included. I got frustrated enough that I left the platform. When do they go too far, and when should I just shut up and swallow it?
I've got an idea. I think what they ought to do is sell the space on the fail whale, so that every time the fail whale shows up,
oh, that's a good idea.
It's like brought to you by
this fail whale. Brought to you by. That's great. This fail.
I think that's hysterical.
It's a promoted fail. Oh, the promoted fail.
I think it's brilliant. Although I haven't seen the fail whale in quite some time.
I know, it's unfortunate that they've actually scaled. They've got the scaling issue down, I think. I haven't seen
used
that
to get that all the time. Well, here's you ask the question in a way that is meant to evoke some sort of guilt, I guess, some consumer guilt, and I feel the guilt. So now I feel like I can't complain. But I think this problem...
Good. My work is done.
This problem is so fascinating, really, because I think, hey, I'm not sitting around trying to think, about how you can make your company, make money, I guess. It's that's not my job. But there's no easy solution. And it's the kind of thing, like, I think to myself, how Steve Jobs one time was credited with saying, well, the problem with Bill Gates is he never dropped acid. Like, he really should have dropped acid at some point. or like you hear about like the invention of JavaScript supposedly happened with, it's like somebody had smoked pot and gone to a Doobie Brothers concert and was watching the lights above the stage. Like, that reminds me of this thing I want to create called Java. I mean, it didn't quite happen that way, but sort of. So, innovation sometimes happens, I don't mean to say under the influence, but like brainstorming, it's not the kind of thing that happens always successfully. Well, in the boardroom with fluorescent lights, I think you got to really push yourself to get creative. And these guys I haven't seen, it's sort of, they've got one of the most popular, widely used tools in the world, and they can't figure out how to make money, and I just not hearing the good ideas.
Huh.
They got to do something, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know that it's not that I'm hearing the good ideas. I mean, the thing that frustrates me the most is that there is no opportunity for me to pay to go pro. I mean, here I am paying. I'm a paid user of Hootsuite.
I know. I thought that happened a year ago. Didn't you? Like, I was waiting for that to happen.
I know. It's like the clock has been
Twitter
ticking.
Pro.
I don't know what that means. But,
well, I want an opportunity to pay Twitter for the service, right? I mean,
would you pay Facebook?
Yeah, no, probably not.
But if there's a free tool,
I think you guys. I don't think that's going to happen.
There's a pro version. Pete gets the pro version more often than not.
If there is a sale, on electronics, I'm going to go in and ask to pay full price. That's who I am. If it's a half-off sale, I'm going to buy two.
My point is, if it's a useful tool, let's use Evernote as an example. It's great.
I pay for Evernote.
Wonderful. But they have a pro version that gives you expanded capabilities, right?
Yeah,
and they're worth the money.
Yeah.
Why can't Twitter do that? That seems like the most obvious thing, right, Pete?
Well, yeah, it absolutely does. I mean, there are people who are going to stay free, and there are people who are going to pay for an ad-free experience. And if they would do ad-free,
I guess they could do that, right?
Yeah,
you get the ad version or the ad-free version.
Exactly. That seems like a model that just is it's sort of nudging them down that road. And then there are other sort of add-ins, like a verified account. That's something I would pay for.
There you go.
To have a verified account.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So there are services in and around this, rather than trying to find. It seems like all of the kind of the advertising kind of intellectual capacity at Twitter is just trying to find a way to jam ads into the interface in a way with some sort of nuance. And I get that, and it's hard to do, but it seems like there's some low-hanging fruit that, Twitter is a big network, and it seems
that's the thing, is that it's because of the format. I mean, back to Megan's question about Facebook, would you pay for a Facebook experience? I mean, would you pay for an ad-free Facebook experience? I'm not sure that'd even be worth it, because the ads don't really bother me, because the interface is, it's okay.
It's roomy enough.
Yeah,
it's roomy enough for that. It's all right. And those ads tend to be pretty targeted, so I mind them less and less the more, advertisers find me with their messages that I like. I love all the ski ads I get in the wintertime. I don't mind them at all. But Twitter, the format doesn't quite lend itself to that. And if Twitter at any point, if it's disingenuous, it loses its value almost instantly. If it loses genuineness.
A trend is supposed to be a trend, not something somebody paid for. That's
exactly.
why that's not working.
Absolutely.
Because then it's not a trend, then it's an ad.
That's right. It's
See
not
how
a
we
trend.
Differentiate
it's
like
an ad.
That?
It is not a trend. It's an ad. That's so.
I mean, this is pure brilliance on this show. I mean, you've got to come to this show to get the brain power that you're getting right now.
That is right.
Big guns.
I think we need to move off of Twitter.
Whatever.
Love you, Twitter. I'm on you all day long, but we need to move on.
I'm on you all day long, but I'm moving off of you now. Let's talk about Facebook. So I'm when I think about watching the next big blockbuster movie on my small screen, I imagine doing it on a Facebook wall.
Well, the thing is that I don't think they're going to be big blockbuster movies, but Warner Brothers announced the day before, that it will begin distributing movies for sale and rent through Facebook, beginning with The Dark Knight. What I think is interesting about this, it is very interesting that Facebook will now be distributing media content, but also they're available for rent for $3 or 30 Facebook credits. So now people who are racking up Facebook credits, like playing Farmville, can actually use their credits for something of real value instead of whatever people do on Farmville. So I think this is fascinating. Apparently the Netflix shares opened 3% lower the morning the deal was announced. But this is interesting. I mean, it's part of the Facebook takeover
Does it fire you up? I mean,
are
you
fires
critical
me up.
of it? Why? Why do you fire you up?
I'm not critical of it, but I think it's interesting to note that they're kind of, biting off yet another little segment. And I think the Facebook credits thing is going to become, I think, even more interesting when you can convert these, like, I don't know, turnips into something useful.
And I don't know how that works because I'm not a Farmville player. Like, can you actually excise or like exchange your turnips for Facebook credits? Is that how that works? I know Dane is fired. Listen to Dane in the back. I'm fired up. Hello.
Sorry, I'm fired up. Please, see you guys.
Somebody call on me.
Okay, Dane.
I know. Can I just say I love that my 4-year-old now that he's in preschool raises his hand when he wants to talk at home. I think that's really very cute.
Do that.
Anyway, I'm gonna give you two angles of this. The first one is fine. This is okay. Fine. Like, I'm on Facebook. I want to watch a movie through Facebook, and Warner Brothers is letting it happen. Great. If they can sell a movie, if they can make money, if it somehow seems convenient because they're utilizing a platform and whatever, and the cost is right. But so that's great. I have no problem with that. What really just starts to rankle me, I don't know if I've ever used that word before, is you don't use it?
I don't know if it's used properly, but okay.
Look it up. Is that media companies like Warner Brothers, who, when I see this, my first thought is, fine, although I'd hate to be watching a movie and then have like chat messages show up in the middle of the film, or, a notification of an incoming mail. I sort of assume that kind of thing's going to happen. I hate that idea, but maybe it won't. But I hate the fact that, okay, it's one movie and we're going to give you 48 hours to watch it, and you can only watch it on this platform. I mean, these guys hold back like it's a gift they're going to hand us when they're ready to give us that gift and we're worthy enough to receive it. Netflix, they hate Netflix, they hate Redbox because it makes movies inexpensive, widely available and convenient to get to. The Blockbuster by my house finally closing down. You just kind of wonder how long it was going to take.
Ours is a mattress warehouse now.
Yeah, they did really nothing to, I don't know. And so the obviously, the trend has been there for so long. This is just not new. People want convenience. They want a good cost. And the movie companies want to dictate what you get, when you get it, how much you pay, as much as possible. So this 48-hour, have to watch on this platform, then the movie's gone and it's $3. There's just no alignment with what I think. And, when it comes to things like music sales and anytime they have a bad quarter, for instance, they blame it on piracy. Well, I haven't really pirated digital content for quite some time. I'm just
those were the days.
I'm just looking for convenient and a good price, and don't hold back. Like, my understanding is that Netflix, like the deal they have with Starz, everyone now is like, hey, Starz, what are you doing? This isn't good. These movies, we can charge more over here for them. And I don't know, that deal I think comes up within this year, and it's very possible that Netflix, which had made some real headway, signing on new studios, and maybe that's going to continue, but there are a lot of these, executives sitting down saying, we can't let the consumers have it convenient and cheap and not on our terms. We've got to cut this stuff off. They hate Redbox.
Yeah.
So that's my fired upness about it.
Well, I think I'm of two minds on it. I agree with you that I think the studios are, they're terrified. They don't understand what, I don't know that's actually true. I think they do understand what's going on, but I think it's, it's the entrenched model that is so hard to shake. But I think there's something about the fact that it's launching on Facebook that is really compelling, and it shows that there is some kind of at least base awareness that, they need to be where the people are. And there are a lot of people on Facebook. And so there's something to be said for launching a platform with a movie like The Dark Knight, even though, I hate to tell you, Warner Brothers, I've seen it a lot.
Right. Right.
But
Give
there
us
is
more movies.
right.
More
I mean,
options.
let's really do this with an experiment. Let's try this with a movie that people haven't seen or is a brand new release and just see how it really works. If you want a fair test, don't do it with a movie that's 2 years old, or older. But I think it's interesting that it's on Facebook. I think it's another model that it's worth testing. I mean, it is convenient for avid Facebook users, and there are a lot of them.
And let me just say, so I totally agree, Pete. This is, on the one hand, it's a step in the right direction, makes perfect sense, and you're meeting the audience, and really the price isn't horrible.
Yeah, and although I want to say I'm with you, I don't like the terms either, and I think Netflix really has it right, where you're a paid subscriber, you get to watch the movie as much as you want, as often as you want, over the anytime you want.
Yeah, it's no wonder that it's growing immensely in popularity.
Yeah, but and I don't like this 48. I don't like the rental model. Same thing with iTunes. That makes me kind of crazy. So I agree with you there. I think there are better ways.
But speaking of Netflix, so I'm in a hotel last week, got my iPhone, my Netflix account, and my little adapter, I guess, from the iPhone to the TV, and I've got my option. I can order a movie on my on demand for what, $14 for an almost still in theaters movie, or I can just fire up Netflix, plug it into the TV, and that's a lot cheaper because I got Wi-Fi in the hotel, and that just tended to make a lot more sense. And I was just one more reminder that. And I get that, a company, if there's scarcity, can charge a premium. So if you're, in a hotel room and they assume you're a captive audience, then they can charge more. And I get that. But, I hate to see them fight the forces. And I see this as, I would assume that Facebook is saying, whoa, one movie? Are you kidding? Okay, well, we'll give you a month on that one. But then you really got to blow up your catalog because we're all going to make money here.
Right.
But they probably won't. They'll probably be really selective about the catalog they make available.
It's interesting. I heard, and I don't know if this is a rumor, if it's been confirmed that the FTC, in reviewing the Comcast NBC Universal merger, has made it part of the agreement to go ahead with the merger that the media company, the media arm, has to continue to offer their platform or offer their properties, their media properties, movies and TV shows at competitive rates across services, in particular iTunes, and I assume Netflix, Hulu. So they can't go and pull their movies from iTunes now so that Comcast with their delivery mechanism could be the sole distributor. And that I think
that's aimed at Comcast, who was really trying to hold Netflix hostage as they brought on NBC.
Right. And I think that's interesting because what that sort of says is there is a regulatory awareness that media companies are out to do this, and I think media companies are also probably aware that they're under the gun here to not be so exclusive.
They're not getting the regulation they should get, in my opinion.
No.
But I'm very much enjoying 30 Rock's little shots at Comcast in their.
Their Cabletown stuff has been great. The CEO of Cabletown is a hugger. I absolutely love it.
They are having a lot of fun with that whole merger, and I think it's great.
Now I lost it. You got me thinking about Cabletown and hugging, and now I've totally lost my thread.
Sorry.
Oh, crap.
How about Megan? Did we lose her?
I'm here.
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about, so I'm just being quiet.
All right, what's next on the list?
Oh, what else do we have to talk about? Dane, I think you had a bunch of stuff.
Well, I this is really old news.
We already talked about Charlie Sheen and Facebook, so now you're...
Well, you know what? That was
now you're not fired up anymore.
Well, there's a lot of Charlie Sheen news that's happened since we started talking.
In the last 20 minutes.
Let me get into that. One of the goddesses apparently... No, just kidding. I wanted to just... Google, a few weeks ago, made an attempt to purchase a little company in San Francisco, I believe, called Path. Pete, what do you know about this whole deal?
Path. Waste of breath.
It's old news.
No. It's the company.
A couple of weeks.
Well, I'm interested in what you're saying. The path of the company is a micro networking photo sharing service, so that you sign up and you say, I have only 50 friends that I want to share my photos with. I take a lot of photos and I'm excited about it, but I'm only excited about it with 50 people. So this would be an excellent service for what's his name, who sent pictures of his privates to the cheerleaders? What's his name? Come on, football player. Come on.
Well, you're not talking about Brett Favre, right?
Brett Favre, yeah. So this is
a sideline reporter.
Perfect. Okay. Well, it's perfect. A perfect service for that. You have just the people who you want to actually see pictures of your privates, and then you can take pictures of them and send them all at once to those people and not to the world at large. So this is more of a gated service. You have to preload the cheerleaders and the sideline reporters.
Nice.
Well, here's why it jumps out at me, and why I thought it might be worth discussing is that so I've got my new camera, and I'm taking way too many pictures for Flickr to be free for me, apparently. So I called Pete a little while ago, and I said, Pete, what do you like? Like, what do you? I mean, I want to upload my images, and partly, I guess, as a sort of a secondary saving, or like hard drive or something like that, where I know they're safe, but and also obviously I want to share them, and I want to put them up somewhere. So we were discussing, Pete and I, some options like what were some of the what's the one you use?
Zenfolio. Terrific service.
And I've just been on, like, well, which one do I do? Which one? How much is this worth to me? What quality do I need? I'm not a professional photographer. But then I saw this this path thing, and I thought, well, you know what? There is something to that. Like the whole notion that on the one hand, I load up my pictures in Flickr, and really, I mean, unless I guess go in and set privacy settings and that kind of thing, I mean, it's just open to the world. Or I upload them on Facebook, and now you've got hundreds of people who can see them whether they want to or not. But isn't there something to the idea that that not everyone wants to see every picture I take, really?
No, there's nothing to that.
I do. I want to see every picture you take.
Well, and what if you're let's throw another sort of Favre-ish. I use Favre-ish example out there. Let's say you're average Joe Schmo, and you've just taken all kinds of pictures, and you've loaded them all up on your Flickr account and on your Facebook account, and all these everyone can see them kind of locations. And then let's just say you do something really wrong, or something really scandalous, and now you got like, wait, where are all those? Okay, now people can like search me, and I'm tagged, and you're stuck. You got no privacy in this world. I don't know how much that matters, but I thought it was worth talking about because, Google thought these guys were worth $100 million. Probably not the technology, probably the employees, but
yeah.
But the notion of a closed network, I just think there's room to debate its value, because I think for some people that sounds probably. I think there's a lot of people who are really, they have a fatigue of being so exposed.
Well, all these services, that's the thing. All of these services have an opportunity for you, or a place, or functionality for you to lock down certain groups of photos. Even Flickr, you can say, I don't want this visible to the public. And so whether or not people know how to use it is...
But don't you still basically sign those photos over to Flickr in a way, even though you've set privacy on them? I mean, that's true of Facebook. Even though I say, well, no one can see these, Facebook still technically owns it because I uploaded it, and that's the terms of service.
That is a very difficult. It's a very difficult thing to parse, I think, for us average users. Technically, Facebook has to demand the rights to sort of ownership of these things in order to rebroadcast them at any level, and posting them on a web page is rebroadcasting. Right. And so they have to claim that ownership. But what they don't claim, what they don't say is that you can't delete them later, or you can't control the level of visibility of those. Facebook does say, we own the rights to these so that we can, rebroadcast them on your behalf, but you can always delete them and you can always control visibility and you can always take them down, and we're not going to use them to advertise, right? I mean, that's just kind of the way the law is right now. The law hasn't caught up with photo sharing sites. And so, I think it's something to be aware of, but not afraid of.
Is it still true, Pete, do you know, or Megan, that if I were to go in for whatever reason and say, oh man, I want nothing to do with Facebook, I'm deleting my account, that I then have to go into every single photo that I've ever uploaded one at a time and delete them?
No.
Or say album at a time?
No, you don't have to do that. What you do have to be aware of is that other people may
Well, I don't have
pictures.
to, but I could, right? Like otherwise, they don't really delete you per se. Is what I've been told.
No, they delete. Everything deletes.
They wipe it clean.
About you is wiped clean. But what doesn't get deleted are pictures other people have uploaded about you or with you and tagged you in them, and your tag disappears from them. But you can be retagged, and people can say, Pete Wright is in this photo. He doesn't have an account. But he's in this photo. So that sometimes I think causes some confusion because your pictures will still show up. You thought they were yours because they were uploaded 2 years ago, and now you deleted your account and there's pictures of you on Facebook that somebody else uploaded, but they showed up in your photo library because you got tagged in them.
But how schizophrenically narcissistic we are that we seem to go, and I'm making assumptions about a broad swath of society here, from wanting as much exposure as possible, and I hope people can find me easily, and they will. If you're on LinkedIn and Facebook and a few other places, you're going to show up when they search you. And then a week later, wow, nobody finds me. Wow, I'm like, do you guys ever go through that? Like, you just think you go from thinking exposure is awesome to maybe exposure is not so awesome. Or do you just always think exposure is awesome?
Well, I think exposure is awesome. I think it's more about what kind of exposure you want, what is the message that you want to send. And I think that's the schizophrenic part, at least for me, is, when you do a lot of things online, you want to try to figure out the best way to integrate them so it's not hard for people to find the stuff you do want them to find.
Well, and let me just say, and I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but with this whole exposure network thing, but I would say that I've seen, or I think I've seen, Pete, you evolve in terms of, if we go back a year and a half ago or whatever, like you got your Facebook is sort of your friends, and then you got your LinkedIn, that's your professional. And I think you have done a very good job of just making yourself appropriate for all audiences. And so you're not really concerned about how you've set your privacy settings per se, or, what you've shared with whom on what network, what you say on Facebook. I think that you do what I think makes sense for adults, people who are no longer teenagers, to do, which is to integrate so that you don't have any concern that certain things are posted here and there.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say so.
It seems like it makes a lot of professional sense, doesn't it?
Well, one would think. But I don't know. I mean, what do I know?
And again, Megan's quiet. I just thought Megan would jump in here.
Well, because she also is for adult audiences.
True. She does have an alter ego, of sorts.
But I don't have a whole separate Twitter persona like some other Naked Marketers co-host has just revealed to us.
It's no.
That's where you go if you want to see all of Dane's pictures.
There's nothing there.
Twidentity.
The Twidentity.
Did you guys see the video I just posted in the Skype chat? I just posted a link to the Brett Favre video, and it's not safe for anyone, but it's fantastic. It's a parody of the LeBron James "What Should I Do" ad. Have you seen that? What should I do? Tell me what to do. Should I be an ad person? Should I give up advertising? Should I quit playing everything? Well, Brett Favre did it, and it's not safe for work. Or rebroadcast, but it's
not safe,
hysterically funny. It is. I find it inappropriately funny, and so I just posted it everywhere. But search awesome. For it in YouTube, Brett Favre. What should I do? And put on the headphones. He's a good sport. He's a good sport. This is to Dane's point about being able to manage your identity. There's a guy who's a good sport or completely oblivious.
And speaking of posting videos, Pete. or Megan, we need to make sure we get this professional fire restoration services video uploaded.
Oh lordy,
this is another best use case kind of.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome local commercial, low production value, with an awesome song in the background. And we look on YouTube. I just love this comment. Saying that I enjoy this commercial is a drastic understatement. So I'll let the comments speak for themselves. This is just fabulous. I just love, when we spot a great local ad, I think it's worth sharing.
I think it's a new segment on the show is great local ads. We need an intro theme song. Dane's favorite local ads.
And here's a question for you. So I'm on YouTube. I've pulled up my professional fire restoration services commercial, which I think is headquartered back in New York State or something.
Yeah, it's Albany.
My number one suggestion on the right-hand side, top video suggestion, is called "And I'm a Mormon."
Wow.
Promoted video, I guess. So maybe they're...
See, mine is Mars Needs Moms trailer. and then right below that is the Justin Bieber CSI death scene extended cut.
No, I got that one. On
do you have Come Sail Away, Lexi and Stephanie?
Lexi and Stephanie, which, by the way, that's worth seeing.
It is worth seeing. That's another one should be promoted. Well, this has been. You know what this show is?
Your time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Do you know what this show has not been about really much? Is marketing. That's true.
No, well, and that's the thing. Because we speak on a higher plane, what people are going to have to do, and this show is smart stuff, you have to draw your own marketing conclusions because we're not making them obvious.
That's right. We are ascended marketing beings.
Yeah, we hide the marketing info so that you're sort of forced to pull it out yourself.
Now, go watch Brett Favre videos.
And think about the marketing ramifications.
All right, Dane Christensen, where can people find you? Should they want to find more about you, where would they go?
Well, I'm usually speechless at this point because I've been taking a beating almost every show about how retarded. But I'll just say, go to about.me/Dane Christensen, and I'm not going to spell it for you. That's a secret.
Megan.
That's marketing.
Megan Strand. It's a secret. My URL, and I'm going to spell this using the phonetic alphabet.
Find me at Sheen's Corner.
Megan, where can people find you?
I am on the Twitter at Megan Strand, and my website and blog is Incouraged, INCOURAGED.com.
And you can find me at Pete Wright on the Twitter and PeteWright.co for now on the web, and that seems to constantly evolve. But you can find out more about the show, most importantly, at thenakedmarketers.com. Make sure you go there. Make sure you click on the subscribe in iTunes button to ensure that you don't miss a single episode of Naked Marketing Goodness. And until next week, I hope we're back next week. Barring flood or fire, next week we'll be back with another episode of The Naked Marketers.